Oh, I'm trying out my new mic, so let me try it, see if I can do it. Karen, are you still there? Can you hear me now? Can you let me know if you can hear me okay? But rambling on here and nobody can hear me. That's not great, is it? Is anybody there? Karen, can you hear me? Yes. Okay, that's great. It was on mute for whatever reason. So all that fantastic information, totally wasted. So let's talk about it. The first thing you need to decide for the intermittent fasting challenge is your window. So say you take 10 till 6, right? That's your window. And then you need to decide, are you going to get all the crap out as well? And if you are, you need to be super organised and have your fridge and your cupboards full of the foods that you want to eat instead of the foods that you don't want to eat. So that's really as simple as that. At the weekends, if you're like, but what will I do at the weekends? Maybe you're doing dry January, maybe not. But at the weekends, you can shift your window around. So instead of 10 till 6, you could make it 12 till 8. Or you could switch it the other way around. Sometimes I like to have a bigger breakfast and then a kind of lighter meal at night, which I can sometimes have at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. It's completely up to you. Experiment with your body. And also do something that you think you can actually achieve. Don't start, too heavy and then feel that you're going to fail. Start with something, and then you can always decrease your window if you're finding it too easy, because you want a wee bit of a challenge, right? Fasting is such a powerful way to heal. You just take the food out and let the body do what it's absolutely innately intelligently designed to do, which is rebalance and heal itself. So, but what I want to talk to you today is about the normal challenges that people have. Well, one is if you're a sugar addict, which is very common. Apparently, there's about a third of us addicted to sugar. And if you take alcohol out the equation, very often you will want to replace your glass of wine or whatever, your pint, with something to eat. And we know that it's much easier to replace a habit than it is to remove one. So what you would normally do there, I had a few alcohol-free beers, which I never thought I would do. It was actually quite nice just sitting having a beer. There's no alcohol in it, because what I realised was, oh yeah, you've just replaced a habit. Now I will drink alcohol-free beer, but I wanted to be very clear-headed for going to Sky, so I thought I'm not going to drink any alcohol beer. So I replaced it with a no alcohol beer. So that's what I mean. It's some people say, why don't you just have water? It's not quite the same when you're in company. So that worked for me. It might not work for you, but it's actually quite an interesting experiment. I only tried it for the first time 2 days ago, and I thought, oh wow, that was kind of nice, just sitting having a beer, but with no damage done. So that's what I mean about replacing the habit. My friend, when she stopped smoking, she got a kid on cigarettes so that she could still do this. Whatever works for you, because we're talking about changing habits. So there's lots of things that you can eat, and the only rule is it has to be eaten within this window between 10 and 6, for example, 11 and 7. You can make it. You can do 12, 7 in the morning till 7 at night. Choose your window, and then have whatever it is you want in that time. If you're going to be cutting out a lot of simple carbohydrate and sugar, get your fat up. Fat. So making things like protein balls, etc. So here are the stories that normally people get tripped up on. One, the weekend. But what will I do at the weekends? Because that's when I enjoy myself. That's when I drink, or that's when I eat crap, or whatever. At night, you're watching TV maybe, you've had your dinner, and then you go and you eat something that you 100% don't need. But it's quite nice to eat something at night. And that, again, that is a habit. So you can have black tea, black coffee, but that's it. And what I would recommend is that you make sure you've had a really good big meal and that you are not hungry, so that you know if you're going for something at that time of night, that it's a habit. It's an emotional habit. There's absolutely no need for you to eat. You don't need it. You want it. And there's a big difference between that. Okay, so let's start with whatever it is your nemesis? You know, what do you find difficult about intermittent fasting? Is it the at night thing? Is it the weekend thing, the Friday feeling thing? So there's always ways around that to kind of minimize the change so that you can really feel the benefit of and the high you get from actually adhering to your goals. Because you get quite a buzz when you actually like, wow, I did that. And then if you can manage it, it's just for January for now, although I highly recommend you adapt intermittent fasting primarily in your life. Different if you're away and you're having late meals, that's fine. But it is a phenomenal free way to stay well. So I highly recommend you keep it going. Nighttime and sugar. Yeah, excuse me, I'll take this off because I am roasting. Yeah, right. So that's good. Thanks, Susan, for that. Pop in what you would perceive your challenges to be in the box, and we'll do a little bit of EFT around it. So what we're looking at is just being transparently honest with ourselves. Because what we do is we justify, we make up stories. Oh, well, I've got to do this, or I've got young kids, or I was just really tired, or I was just really busy, or I was just I was traveling. We make up all these stories as to why we did not maintain our boundaries, why we procrastinated, and why we just caved. And I think that it's really interesting times that we're living in, because I think we can see quite clearly having no boundaries. Oh, if you enjoy it, if it, a wee bit of what you love makes you feel happy, indulge yourself. We're indulging ourselves far too much now, and we're paying a heavy price for it. And given what's been happening, in terms of the viruses or the germs that are going around in our bodies now that were probably never there before, there's never been a more important time to pay attention to your health, because there are no drugs or surgery for these autoimmune issues, which most of us are suffering to some degree or another. So this is a really brilliant way to start. And once you create the habit, just keep on keeping on. And it's that just for today, can I do it today? So start with being transparently honest. What is it? Is it wine? Is it chocolate? Is it sweeties? Is it bread? These are the main things that people get hung up on. And maybe it's your birthday. This idea it's the weekend, we eat shite. Oh, it's my birthday, so I eat shite. Oh, it's it's today, so I eat shite. We've got this crazy idea that it's a treat, which of course it isn't. And there's loads and loads of ways you can get round the kind of treat idea. And let me talk about alcohol as well in particular, because the alcohol per se is not the issue. What happens is when you're hungover or your blood sugar's being destabilised, the next day you don't care and you want to eat hangover food. So that's why that can be a big problem, especially for women. Used to see that all the time in the gym. They go out at the weekends, myself included, although I know a bit more how to adapt than maybe some people do. And then Monday, Tuesday, you would be still eating the hangover food. Wednesday, you'd be back on it. And then, of course, 2 days till the weekend again. So the alcohol could really interfere with your willpower and your blood sugar, which can make you then eat stuff that you absolutely do not need, because you're satisfying an emotional craving rather than a physiological one. And, there's a train of thought that says if you're craving healthy food, it's because you're hungry. If you're craving crap food, it's because you're emotionally eating. So let's look at these. The chocolate, chocolate, sugar, sweeties will all go under one. Things that are very obviously sugar. Then let's look at bread. And people are going to ask, what about sourdough? Oh my God, the different qualities of sourdough. Some of it is just absolute garbage and it's not going to do you any good. And I think the idea that sourdough, you can eat a loaf. The reality is, if you're storing a lot of weight and you're eating sourdough, a lot of grains just do not work for blood group O. But that's a whole other podcast, a whole other live in itself, talking about grains and talking about genuine fermented and real sourdough, which the body can digest easier. What grains can you digest? Because what happens is, if you can't digest it, the body will just make a cell to store it. And you can experience bloating, fatigue, weight gain, because the body can't digest, and that kind of brain fog. So these are the things that happens. when the body, or your bowels will just start, they'll start to like irritable bowel, you'll get pain, you'll get diarrhea, all of that stuff is the body trying desperately to regain homeostasis and balance. So we can be eating the wrong things, and we can be eating too much of things, even the right things. So the excess, the body has to try and work out what to do with it. So when you are going, right, okay, this is what I'm going to do, and make a very clear goal. And, you know, again, when it comes to things like sugar and alcohol, it's a good idea just to say, I'll have none for January, if that is your nemesis. Or bread, just no, we'll just have a little bit. No, it doesn't work. Just cut it out. It's not very long, probably 4 weeks, and see how you feel, how your body behaves. If you've got chronic pain, that's the thing that blows me away most. Sometimes people's chronic pain almost disappears with intermittent fasting and cutting out the shitey grains, shitey sugar. So decide what it is you're going to do, what you're cutting out, and what's your window going to be. Then make sure that you're absolutely organised. And then we'll do some tapping. So tap with me. Even although, just repeat out loud after me, I know I have some bad habits that I would like to cut out and cut down. And I know that I make up stories around why I eat these and drink these things. And I justify my behaviour. It's a wee treat, it's my birthday, it's Christmas, it's New Year, makes me feel better in the moment. All the stories that I make up to keep myself in the same place. But even although I make up these stories, and even although deep down I know I would have better health without these things in my body, I still do them. But even although I do things I know are not good for my body, I deeply and completely love, trust, and accept myself. Even although I self-sabotage and I eat and drink things that do not serve my health and vitality. Keep breathing, keep tapping. Feel free to add in your own words. And even although I've tried and failed before, and even although I know what to do, or at least I know what not to do, I deeply and completely love, trust, and accept myself. Even although I'm an idiot. And even although it's me that pays the price of my bad habits and my stories and my limiting beliefs, I deeply and completely love, trust, and accept myself. Okay, deep breath. So just breathe nice and deeply. And just feel that tingling. Okay, so now we're going to go on about, even although I find it hardest at night time, when I settle down to watch TV or to listen to a podcast or whatever I'm doing at night, I just want to snack. I like to have a biscuit or a bit of chocolate or a glass of wine. It helps me unwind. That's the story I've made up. And I've created a comfortable wee habit. I can't have tea without milk. Rubbish. I can't have a glass of wine for my dinner without having a glass of wine. Rubbish. I need a wee bit of cake. I need something sweet after I eat. Also rubbish. But these are the habits I don't really want to let go of, but I know that I probably should let go of. And I do love my toast in the morning. I have sourdough. I have a story about the bread that I eat, that it's okay for me. But But even although I make up stories and I believe myself and I justify, I deeply and completely love, trust, and accept myself. And I'm now opening my mind to different choices. What would it take for me to stop snacking at 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. at night? What would it take for me to allow my body all that time to rest, digest, restore and repair? What would it take for me to feel uber empowered over my control about when I eat? I am open to trying, and I am open to succeeding for the entire month of January, only eating within my fasting window. I'm letting go of any limiting beliefs that I am not good enough, that I need to eat sugar or drink wine or eat bread, or whatever stories and limiting beliefs I'm carrying about myself. I'm open to letting all of that go now. Keep tapping, keep breathing. I am excited to have a lot more energy. And I am excited to drop a few excess pounds and a whole load of toxins. I'm excited to unblock habits from the past that no longer serve me. And I'm letting go of believing I am powerless re-food. I'm choosing a window that will be effortless and easy to follow. And I will remember to tap when I feel a desire to cheat my cells. I'm excited about giving my body the space to heal, my brain to wake up and become alert and clear. I am powerful, and I am choosing to cut out food 1 hour after I waken and 3 hours before I go to sleep, to give my body back the power and the potential for healing. I am powerful, and I am in the process of waking up to the power of when I eat. Deep breath. Okay, you can probably feel yourself quite tingly, a bit more peaceful. Shrink with Candy. Hi, Shrink with Candy. So just feel into that. And be aware if you're telling a story. You know, because this is what we do. And we blame other people. We blame the circumstances. And there's nothing, Happy New Year, Candy. There is nothing more powerful than being in control of your life and your food. Fasting, the very word terrifies people, but it's way, the thought of it's way scarier than the actual reality. My friend came and did a 3-day fast with me this year, and then she went home and did 10 days on her own. Something that you would probably have thought was impossible. She certainly would have. We're doing a fasting retreat in Skye, so you can come there and join us. The price is incredible. You can join us from home. Try it. Join in the intermittent fasting challenge. What a great way to start. You've never done it before. If you're scared, if you feel you're going to fail, just do 12-12. Then shrink it down to 16-8. Choose your window. You can move the window around if you want to at the weekends, if you're still stuck in the stories. If you believe you can't drink your tea without milk, then have your tea with milk before your window finishes and get used to drinking some herbal teas or some black coffee. You find a way to make it work. This is one of the most powerful, simple ways. Fasting and breathing. 2, and letting go, of course. 3 top things for really ensuring your success. Hang out with other people that are doing the same thing. The other thing that's a great habit is get a few of your pals and go for a walk after your dinner. A great idea. Social is fun. The weather, of course, in Scotland may not exactly get you excited about that. But find a way to get past the BS that the mind wants to chuck up. And also, very often people will start to feel better very quickly, but that might not be the situation for you. The situation for you might be that you'll not feel good until week 3 or week 4. And what normally happens is that we give up. We're just like, that doesn't work. Bullshit. It's us that are not willing to do the work, that are not willing to stay the pace, to give the body back the energy that it needs. And yeah, so sometimes it'll be hard. So what? Man up, goddess up, and work out how you can make it successful. And if you trip up, which you don't need to do if you get organised, you just start again the next day. The more you try, and we know this from Michael Mosley's research, the more likely you are to succeed. Not the other way around, that, I'm useless, I tried and I failed. Try again. Do it. You're doing a 40-day fast. Wow. Dry fasting? Water fasting? Yeah, so I hope that really helped. I'll be jumping on and off. We'll be doing the breath work live from Skye. You can join with the webinar. It's £1 or £10, depending on what you can afford. If you don't have £1, I'll send you the link. DM me. And then the breathing is a phenomenal way to lose toxicity, to lose weight, and to raise your metabolism. So we're going to be doing some really powerful breath works, starting from Sunday, every morning at 8 o'clock. So you can join in with that. I'll be doing Vida's going to be there doing some live streaming with her stuff. The family constellations. I mean, really, have we got a powerful, powerful 2 months coming up from Skye and that phenomenal landmass. I don't know if you saw the pictures today. I mean, just looking at the pictures energizes you. So get organised, choose your window, decide what you're going to cut out, because it is a good opportunity when you're intermittent fasting to cut out the crap. But even if you're not going to cut out the crap, just eat it within that window. Or if you feel that you need to cheat within the window. The big thing here is the time, 1 hour after you wake up, 3 hours before you go to bed. And then you are going to have success to some degree. Whatever degree that is, I do not know. It will depend on a whole lot of things. But be honest with yourself. And if you're saying you don't have your dinner at 7, you finish your dinner by 7. And that gives you that 3 hours. Or if you go to bed at 11, 8 o'clock. So to look at when you go to bed and just take 3 hours off that, and that's when you want to have finished your food. So I'll be jumping on. Remember to tap. Some very quick tapping. You're powerful. You're letting go of limiting beliefs that you're not enough, that you can't do it, you've tried and failed before. Let go of all of that. It's just stories. You don't need to live by that anymore. So I'm going to shoot off, and yeah. So I'm glad that my new mic works well. And if you're going to be joining in the breath work from Skye, wear headphones. That's the top tip. Okay, huge love.